Why, hello and greetings, everyone. It's GleeCon, and I'm back again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. As always, stoked the freak out that you are here with me. Thank you for tuning in. On the last episode of this grandiose show of ours, we covered, we started to cover the Arathi Highlands from a Horde perspective, and we had a nice little run. Some good quests got completed there. This is our weekly little short we're going to do. Last night I did post an episode on the Patreon, so check that out. The link, the Patreon/GleeCon, is in the comments, where if you support me, you can get to see a side project I'm doing called Lore of Assassin's Creed, where I basically do all the same thing. We did one of the more rare collector's edition art books last night. This one is going to be about the Naga. It's the old defunct Warcraft Encyclopedia art entry for the Naga. Apologies in advance for a couple things. We are having some major air conditioning issues in the GleeCon household. So the fan, which I never keep on because it's distracting in the image, is on because it's completely sauna inducing, especially if I were to turn that fan off under the hot lights. Second, we're going to get some HVAC people out here tomorrow. Hopefully, I think I have a coolant leak. And if that doesn't get fixed, I may not make a long-form episode tomorrow. We might have to postpone that a day because I will not be able to sit for a couple hours in the 90-degree plus lights temperatures. But without further ado, stay a while and listen to the Warcraft Encyclopedia entry on the Naga. Originally, it's just an article called Naga. We got a cool picture here. I might make that the picture for the episode. The singular form of Naga is Naga, and the primary language is Naja. Naja. Before the Great Sundering, the Highborn were the highest-ranking caste of Night Elf nobility. These privileged nobles became obsessed with the Well of Eternity, and abused its magics until their activities caught the attention of Sargeras, the Dark Titan. He promised the Highborn that he would remake the planet Azeroth into a paradise, and that they would be rewarded with great power for serving him. For a time he held the Highborn enthralled and obedient to his wishes. At Sargeras' command, the Highborn created a portal in the well, in the hope that Sargeras would be able to enter Azeroth himself. Such was his might that Azeroth would surely have been consumed like countless other worlds, had his plan succeeded. The Highborn's efforts brought about the first invasion of the Burning Legion, but the ensuing War of the Ancients seemed to do the opposite of what Sargeras had promised. Demons poured from the Queen's jeweled palace and laid waste to most of the city. Death and devastation followed the demonic army as it spread outward. At last, a large group of Highborn rebelled and fled the palace, rejoining the Night Elf host. These rebellious Highborn would later become the High Elves. Birth of the Naga. The remaining Highborn stayed loyal to Sargeras throughout the war, but their hard work came to naught. The other Night Elves, together with many unlikely allies, put up a surprising defense and managed to close the portal. This added magical stress was too great for the Well of Eternity, which imploded with disastrous consequences. As if struck by a giant hammer, the well was driven downwards by the impact. The impact shattered the ancient continent of Kalimdor into several landmasses, and a new ocean was born. Much of Zinajari, former capital city of the Night Elves, was driven beneath the sea. Above the waves, a fierce magical storm now rages, the Maelstrom. Beneath the Maelstrom, the ocean has been whipped into an enormous whirlpool. Once caught in the whirlpool's currents, most creatures have no chance of escaping. Queen Azshara's palace was also pulled underwater. In the process, some of the Highborn in the palace drowned, but many were instead cursed for their role in bringing about the War of the Ancients. Transformed into the monstrous Naga, the former Night Elves found they were able to survive the ocean's depths. Even so, the Naga knew they had little chance of reclaiming the lands that the Highborn had once dominated. Bitterly resentful at their enforced banishment to the sea, they resolved to bide their time until they could retake their rightful place in the surface world. As it was driven downward into the sea, the Well of Eternity continued to collapse in on itself and was finally obliterated. Its violent destruction has left behind a deep trench on the ocean floor that reaches all the way to the planet's molten core. To this day, that core remains exposed and heats the ocean's cold waters. The magical energies that still emanate from the trench have caused monstrous mutations in all nearby things. Little tweak, because this is officially non-canon anymore, but It's not quite a curse, right? It was a pact that Ajara made with one of the old gods. Alliance with the Betrayer. Roughly 10,000 years later, shortly before the Third War, the Naga began emerging from the ocean's depths. It was only then that the Night Elves and the rest of Azeroth learned what had become of the Highborn, who had been presumed dead. The largest observed group of Naga is currently under the command of the demon Illidan Stormrage. Shortly after the Third War, he contacted a large group of Naga and forged an alliance. Led by Lady Vaj, these Naga still serve Illidan today in Outland. Furthermore, he has used Vaj and her brethren to recruit additional allies for him, Prince Kael'thas Sunstrider and the Blood Elves. Characteristics and abilities. I still think the Naga should be a playable race. In general, Naga are scaled humanoids with the lower bodies of large serpents. Naga can breathe water or air, and some Naga have recently emerged from the ocean's depths. Yet most Naga have continued to dwell in the ocean's depths beneath the site of the original Well of Eternity. Thus, although the well itself no longer exists, the Naga have experienced a wide range of mutations due to the well's residual energies. As former Highborn, the Naga's past abuse of the well has not been without additional consequences. The Highborn were obsessed with the well, and the Naga have been exposed to the well's residual magics for millennia. Consequently, modern Naga are addicted to magic. Naga tend to be long-lived, much like the Night Elves, Blood Elves, and High Elves. Some Naga have even gained immortality as part of their mutations. However, most immortal Naga are women rather than men. Naga women are tall and slender with fine scales and angular features and often have at least 4 arms. For some reason, Naga women have proven better than Naga men at maintaining pre-sundering memories and personalities. As a result, Naga women are intellectually and magically superior to their male counterparts, and Naga society is matriarchal. Bigger and physically stronger than Naga women, Naga men are relatively bestial in appearance. A male Naga's head resembles that of a dragon, and he has a muscular humanoid torso. The scales that cover his body are larger and thicker than those that cover the body of a Naga woman. So short and sweet, and I think we have a couple other little spin-off entries that we're going to do. As you can see, Vaj is tied to this. That will probably be next. And it says there is an Internet Archive Wayback Machine. What is that? I just want to click it and find out. The Wayback Machine. So that's cool. You can always check this out and see how the Wayback Machine has some interesting old Warcraft Encyclopedia. Look at that. If you want to look at it in its actual entry, they have some stuff in there. So for those of you that want to check out the way it looks, that's pretty cool. I'm not going to do it, but you can look and see. Actually, you can make it be in different instances. What did it look like in March of 2008? Perhaps it will go there, and you can continue to go on and go forward. So that's pretty cool. You can kind of see it doesn't really exist, but this is the sweet spot, right where there were a lot of entries. It's pretty cool. So they have 170 captures of the site. Pretty neat project. I was wondering if there was something like that out there. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. We have this one in the pipe 5x5 and another one coming down the pipe in the next day or two. Thank you so much, and peace.